Hey, this is M from the 33 Secrets, and in this new secret training video, you're about to learn one secret trick for how to pick up beautiful women and never get rejected. That's right, you can never get rejected doing this. And it doesn't matter whether you're a complete beginner or an advanced expert at picking up beautiful women. Any guy can use this technique right now to go out there and pick up beautiful women, 8s, 9s, and 10s, while never getting rejected. And for the record, I have used this technique many times before, even to this very day, so I can verify that it does work. Best of all, it's super simple, it's super easy, and any guy can do this, meaning you don't need to be rich, you don't need to be tall, and you don't need to be good looking. All you need is a little bit of patience and a little bit of self-control. All right, so the one secret trick to picking up beautiful women without ever getting rejected, are you ready? Is to simply ignore them. That's right, all you need to do is ignore them. Now, before you thumbs down this training video, hear me out, because you'd be surprised at how powerful this technique really is when it's done right. And the biggest advantage to doing this is you don't ever need to approach, meaning you don't ever need to risk getting rejected, which makes this a great training exercise for beginners, since most beginners are concerned with what? Not getting rejected, right? Because they don't want to feel bad about themselves. Now, more advanced guys could care less. More advanced guys know that rejection is just part of the game, so they could care less whether or not the girl rejects them. Like myself, they simply move on to the next target and they don't think twice about it. But if you're a beginner who's just starting out, every rejection tends to linger in your mind for weeks and weeks, even months. For some guys, even years, which is really extreme. So if you're a beginner who's just starting out, this is a fantastic training exercise for you to do to get yourself familiar with being around lots of attractive women without ever needing to approach them, much less be the one who starts the conversation with them. I actually give this exercise to a lot of my newer students who are just painfully shy around attractive women. And what I've found is that it actually helps them get over a lot of their fears that they have when it comes to being around highly attractive women, 8s, 9s, and 10s. But for the record, you don't need to be a beginner to do this. As I've said, I've used this technique many times myself, and even to this very day, just because it continues to work so well. Now, obviously, you don't want to just go anywhere to practice this technique. Instead, you want to purposely place yourself in target-rich environments where lots of beautiful women go, whether it be bars, crowded venues, or even just coffee shops such as Coffee Bean or Starbucks, just so long as there is an endless supply of attractive women frequenting that venue where you've chosen to do this. Now, if you're a beginner, some of these places may automatically make you nervous because you're not used to being around very attractive women for more than a few seconds, much less all day long, at least without feeling that you need to approach her or at least acknowledge her in some way. But understand, for this training exercise, and only for this training exercise, you are going to be going to these target-rich environments with no intention of approaching whatsoever. Instead, you are simply going to go to hang out, either by yourself, like I do, or with a buddy. It really doesn't matter. Personally, I like to go alone just because attractive women are much more likely to approach you and start a conversation with you when you're alone rather than when you're with a bunch of your friends. The most critical factor is you just want to find a place where lots of beautiful women go, where you can simply sit and apply this technique all day long, where you ignore beautiful women. And by the way, I've done this successfully in crowded bars, crowded clubs. I've done this during day game, night game. So trust me when I tell you, when you do it right, it does work. There was actually a place in San Francisco called Union Square where I would literally do this all day long. I would place myself right in the middle of Union Square, pull out my laptop, do my work, and ignore beautiful women all day long. And I probably met a few dozen girls over the years just by sitting there, getting my work done, and ignoring them. I also used to work in the financial district of San Francisco, not too far away, where I did the exact same thing. I basically sat there, did my work, and ignored beautiful women all day long. And I remember during lunchtime especially, there's a place called Justin Herman Plaza, which is right across from the Ferry Building in San Francisco. Man, there would be so many attractive women walking around there, eating their lunches, enjoying their breaks. It was like being a kid in a candy store. And literally, I didn't have to do a thing other than sit there and ignore them. And I can't even count how many times they would approach me, sit right next to me, start the conversation with me without me ever needing to do a thing. And funny enough, some of them had some of the most ridiculous openers. They'd ask me what I'm eating. They'd ask me what kind of laptop I was using. They'd ask me for directions, even though they work in that area. Just the most ridiculous openers. Because believe it or not, most attractive women are not used to approaching guys. They're not used to doing pickup. So they're generally a bit nervous and a bit shy when they approach you. They basically don't know what to say. Not unlike most beginners who are also new to pickup. Now, the biggest advantage to doing this is that you can never get rejected. I mean, how can you? The simple fact is, if you're not approaching a girl, she can't reject you, right? It's as simple as that. The trick is, however, you need to go to a venue where there is an endless supply of beautiful women walking around all day long. Now, recently, I moved out here to Los Angeles, and unfortunately, there's no Union Square out here. So many times, I'll simply hop right over to Coffee Bean, which is right down the street from here, and just sit there and do my work all day long while ignoring all of the attractive women who come in and out to grab their coffee. And surprise, surprise, guess what? It still works. I still get attractive women approaching me and starting the conversation with me whenever I choose to ignore them. Now, there are a few caveats to making this technique work successfully. Some very important caveats. Like when I tell you to ignore them, I mean ignore them. That means don't pay attention to them. Don't try checking them out while they're not looking, because the second she catches you, even just glancing over at her, you are done. The effect will no longer work. And since most attractive women have great peripheral vision, they can see whenever you're checking them out. Even if you think they can't see you checking them out, trust me, she can see you. So understand how critical this is to making this technique work. You must fully ignore her and avoid even acknowledging her presence in any way, shape, or form. Just pretend she's invisible. Just pretend you can see everyone else but her. And this works especially well, by the way, if there's another attractive woman in the venue that you can pay attention to other than her. Because as you know, beautiful women are the most competitive creatures on the planet. Beautiful women hate to be ignored. Beautiful women hate not being noticed. Why do you think they get all gussied up just to go out to buy milk or fill up their car with gas? They want attention. They want your attention. But guess what? As soon as you give it to them, they will throw you out like a used tampon. And since most guys are complete wusses these days and give them all of the attention and validation they want, they are quickly thrown out like the used tampons they are, and now they are invisible to her. But when you come along and you do the exact opposite, something that 99.9% of guys out there who cross her path in life cannot do, which is ignore her, you will instantly have value in her eyes. And she will be thinking to herself, who is this guy? And who does this guy think he is, not paying attention to me, not noticing me? He must get hotter women than me. He must have a hotter woman at home. This guy must be special. This guy must be different. I have to meet this guy. I have to see what he's about. And from there, it's up to you to stay congruent, which is a big buzzword that I teach my students. It's up to you to stay congruent to who you're projecting yourself to be, which is this cool, badass guy who doesn't pay attention to every single beautiful woman who crosses his path in life, because he knows that there are hotter women out there than her. And if you can get this message across to her, whether consciously or subconsciously, she will become attracted to you, period. Now, will this work on every single beautiful girl that you come across? No, of course not. But nearly every single beautiful girl that you come across will notice, either consciously or subconsciously, that you did not get sucked in by her looks, that you did not get sucked in by her beautiful woman spell, like most guys. And in her subconscious, you'll be the rare 0.001% of guys out there who did not gawk at her, did not stare at her, and didn't undress her with your eyes, like most guys. And since most hot women frequent the same places, same coffee shops, and the same venues, you'll most likely see her again. So even if she doesn't approach you initially, you will have another opportunity with her in the future. So again, this is a very, very powerful and very easy trick for getting beautiful women to approach you, start the conversation with you, without you ever needing to do a thing other than sit there and ignore her. Now, with that said, you don't want to rely on this as a technique forever, because you do want to train yourself to interact with beautiful women like a normal human being, like a normal person, meaning you don't want to just keep frequenting these venues and ignoring attractive women without actually working on your game, your conversational skills, your million-dollar mouthpiece, as I call it. Basically, your ability to be clever, your ability to be witty, your ability to make her laugh, make her cry, make her happy, make her sad. Guys who've developed their million-dollar mouthpiece, or MDM, are able to make beautiful women feel these emotions at the drop of a hat. So you won't see too many of them doing this exercise that I'm giving you now, where all you need to do is place yourself in target-rich environments and simply ignore beautiful women. And what will put this trick into overdrive again is when you can ignore a beautiful woman while paying attention to another hot girl in the venue. And the more attractive the other girl is, the more this technique will work. So not only is this technique already powerful enough on its own, but it is extra powerful when there is more than one attractive girl that you can use to make the other attractive girl jealous, to make the other attractive girl compete for your attention. So this is one secret trick that you can use, that you can start using right now to go out there and pick up beautiful women without ever needing to risk getting rejected. So try it out for yourself and see the results for yourself. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, and if you enjoyed what you just learned in this new secret training video, then don't forget to add yourself to my priority waiting list for my full training course, The 33 Secrets to Dating Beautiful Women, where you can learn my top 33 secrets for dating only the hottest, youngest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet, 8s, 9s, and 10s. All you need to do is click the link above, pop in your name and email, and you're all set. It takes 2 seconds. So do that right now, and I'll see you in my next training video.